Got all this cordage under my ass.
You all right?
Yep.
You okay?
Yep.
You got it?
I'm
You need
good.
a second?
I'm
Feel
good.
free.
It's been a while. So
you just
like-
get back
it's
right
like
in
feeling
there.
it
Yeah,
out.
get yourself
Feeling it
situated.
out.
Where do I put my hands? Where do my hands go? Where do my hands? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. It's a proper, as Joe would say, proper Saturday night.
Oh, is it?
How was the Saturday, boys?
I worked.
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow. It didn't go well.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What happened? So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe's got a beautiful little 3 flat in Chicago. Beautiful 100-year-old building, gorgeous brick.
Every bit of 100.
Yep.
It feels every bit of 100.
Let me tell you what,
just
every
say.
one
Yeah.
of these fucking buildings feels every
Yeah.
one of 100. But so what's the?
No, tenant came and was like, hey, there's some paint bubbling on my walls in the bathroom.
That's never good.
And I'm like, oh no. I go to look at it. I'm like, okay, clearly this is due to condensation.
Yep.
Like they just don't. It's a full bath, but it's like a small bathroom, and there's no ventilation. There's just a window.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't sound like, or it doesn't seem like they're opening the window based on. It also seems like they like to run it hot. It seems like they like a nice wet sauna feel in their bathroom based on
what's going on in there.
how this paint is. Yeah,
A real hot
bubbled
shower,
up.
huh?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So then scrape everything that's bubbled, put mud down and get it all smoothed out. Or I put mud down in all the places, various places in the ceiling and walls. Let it dry, start sanding. And in the more intense areas, the mud was a little bit thicker, so it needed more time to dry. So then I'm sanding, and chunks are just coming off. You could see it's like underneath. It's not. It's like
Not dry, yeah.
it's dry on top, but it's not underneath. So I was like, "Fuck!" So then I remudded, sanded everything else except these 2-3 spots that broke, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow to prime and then paint." But I gotta prime in the morning, sand the bit that I redid. Prime in the morning, then I'm going to a wedding shower, and then I come back and I paint.
Yeah.
Ooh, sounds like a fun Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, property ownership. Woo.
Yes, that's anybody tells you go and buy a piece of property, tell them to kill themselves.
Oh, thank you.
Because owning property sucks, something awful. Let me tell you what. Coming off every year we've done a 2 or 3 month remodel on a property, and one was really disgusting. The other one it's just not touched in 40 years. It's something else, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that thing hadn't been touched for probably longer than that.
Everything needed to be touched, Joe.
Do you when a tenant?
And not in a good way. It's not like the good type of touching.
Oh,
like,
yeah, no.
No, definitely.
like the sexy lady walking down the street. I was like, oh yeah, I like your touching. No, this is like bad. Tear up the whole entire floor, the subfloor.
Also, you have no time to do it. It's like one of those
Oh, that's
situations.
the other thing.
yeah.
It's like, I'm juggling this and a couple other things in between. So it's
Yeah.
like, So I'm just curious, and this is not for those watching the podcast. No slumlords here, all right? We take very good care of our tenants. But my question to you is...
I would like to be a slumlord, yes. Yes, I would.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm like, how do they get away with it?
How do we not have to turn on the heat or anything?
How do you deal with when they're like, oh, this thing is so he goes to me, he goes, we're gonna be real close neighbors soon. And I was like, what does that mean? You live above me. I mean, we're
unless you're living
close.
inside my apartment.
Yeah, I was like, huh? And he goes, no, look at this. And he steps on it, and it's like a squeaky floorboard. And I was like, no, yeah, I got a bunch of those too. That's just what happens as things age. Like, if it's a problem, as you know, as I'm dealing with your bathroom, I'll take care of it. But that's just called age.
Oh yeah,
like there's
we legitimately
nothing wrong with that.
We have floors that you could. It was at one point was almost a trampoline. We had to have a guy come in and reinstall it, but that happens. These old floors are.
I mean, we soundproof the last apartment we did, and we put, instead of having these weird plastic grate things, we drywalled it, and you can still hear people.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just it's old.
But that's such a that's a tenant that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, well, you got little kids that are running around. That's a little pain in the ass.
Well, I'm just saying for Joe.
Oh, for Joe. Oh, yeah, where he's picking on hey, this the doorbell doesn't work, or like it's not loud enough. And Joe's like, I fucking hate you.
That I still need to fix. Well, they're like, it's not a problem. People just call, and I'm like, okay. And then I get a guy come in, and he's like, it's either going to be $8,000 or $80. That is not an exaggeration.
Wow.
Those are his exact words. He sent me 2 quotes. It's either going to be $8,000 to replace the entire intercom system, or possibly this $80 solution to fix the doorbell, but I can't guarantee it. And I was like, fuck.
I'd be like, let's try the $80 one.
No, you're gonna go for the $80, and if it doesn't work, you stop.
Yeah.
We ain't going up to $8,000.
Then you give him one of those. You talk to Pat Lynch, you get one of those like little doorbells.
I was like, if this, I was like, I'll see if this works. If not, this guy's getting a Ring doorbell or some shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting one of those.
That's insane. That's absolutely effing insane.
$8,000. That
But you got to
wild.
Think about all of them used to have these nice intercoms, and then over time and now it'll cost you $1 million to get these things fixed.
Oh yeah, my dad did everything when he owned a building. He did everything in his power to get that intercom system working with whoever he could get it with. Because if he had to replace that, you're running wire through. At that point, he had an 11-unit building, so sending wire through 11 units, like you're literally tearing, and that's just to do the work. That doesn't include all the repair for
the
drywall,
drywall,
rip down and all that stuff.
And especially if you got plaster, good luck trying to find somebody who's going to redo your plaster for you.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
That's why plaster is not the end thing anymore.
Welcome to the
chap your rear moment.
No. Welcome to the Remodel Saturday Night Pregame Podcast as we talk to you about real estate ownership and why you should never do it.
Yeah, the trap your rear corner.
Lauren and I on Monday last week after the ski trip on Monday night, we went and looked at when it was, ladies and gentlemen, it was negative 21 degrees.
Oh, dude, it was 40. It's 40 degrees right now outside.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I came out in this and I was like, am I fucking crazy?
Oh,
like,
it felt so good.
Am I insane? And then Sarah dropped me off. I get in Sarah's car and I see 40 degrees on the thermometer. I'm like, oh shit! It's way fucking better than it's been. This is fantastic,
amazing, absolutely fucking amazing.
I told Peter it was warmer in Antarctica on Tuesday than it was here.
Yeah,
but also what they didn't preference is it's summertime in the southern hemisphere, so it should be warmer probably there than it is here.
But so the thought on that was, so we went and looked at properties, and like we looked at 2. We were supposed to see 3, couldn't get into the second one, and we were gonna walk to the second one, and we did like maybe a quarter of a block, not even a half a block. And we're like, nope, just get in the cars and walk. Because it wasn't that far, but you literally couldn't walk. Like your pants were freezing to your legs.
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
Brutal. But the one house literally it is what it is. Like they had done a remodel. It was nice enough, but you couldn't expand the kitchen. There's not a whole lot of living space. The bedrooms were small, and then the basement I couldn't stand up in. And I was like, well, I'm out. I mean,
as soon as you go into a house, I imagine, and you can't stand in the basement, you're like, there's no point looking
or
at
standing,
anything else.
or standing somewhere. Like if you can't stand somewhere comfortably, forget about it.
Yeah.
Then the last one we saw, it was an older property. It's a nice spot, but they want like 400 or 415, and it needs $100,000 worth of work. It doesn't have a garage.
Okay.
It needs new bathrooms. The kitchen needs to be redone. Like, and not that the bathrooms, like these are things that you would want if this is gonna be your house for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
And it was a bath and a half, like that's all they had. It was just like Lauren, like because the bedrooms were huge, beautiful big bedrooms, but it was just like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I walked in, and it immediately hit me. It's like now there was some
the feng shui.
The feel to it was off for me.
There was an aura as he walked in the door, and he's like,
nope.
"Fuck this, I'm out."
It was like, oh, it smells like old man and old woman, and I'm out. And I don't know if you ever walked into looked at a property, we've looked over when we were in 2013 to 2016. We honestly probably looked over 200 buildings, and I think you knew within 15 minutes if you were going to buy something, or if you're going to at least put a bid down.
Yeah.
And I just walked in, and there was nothing too wrong with it, and I just walked in. I'm like, no, I just don't feel it.
Yeah. There's been times where you just like walk in. Well, there's ones that you immediately know. You walk in, you're like, nope, bye. We don't need the grand tour.
Well, you do the nice thing with Larry, and you're like, okay, we're gonna look at this room. Oh, that ceiling's falling. We're still gonna keep looking at every room. Okay, let's keep doing it. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's legitimately a frozen river in the middle of this floor. That's gonna cost me $10,000 to fix. Oh yeah, Larry. Let's go check out the basement.
That was like the 2 or 3 flat we saw over by our parents' house that they had the floors bowed because a pipe cracked, and they're like, let's go check out the basement. It's like, no, we don't need to do that. And then you open the door and you can just smell the smell of mold hit you.
It's like 10 degrees outside, and the mold is still strong enough to hit you.
Why are we doing this? We know this is fucked. We're not gonna be able to fix these floors.
Yeah. But listen, that's as young gentlemen as we are looking at real estate. This is good. And then a lot of people I think are thinking about this topic of looking at properties. Let me tell you what, don't be a landlord. There's nothing to it unless you have you can invest in friends who are doing it, and you don't have to do any of the work. That's the way to go.
I've been trying to do that. It doesn't work either. Don't listen to them.
So let's get into it. Last week, this week, last week, fucking,
hitting the slopes, doing some skiing.
Besides Chris McGraw whacking his head really badly in the one time.
Yeah.
The rest of the weekend was tremendous.
Outside of being super sore on like Saturday morning and Sunday morning, that was.
And just questioning your life decisions when you're at work and you just want to be on the slopes so bad.
That was another one.
I had. So this you can't. It's hard. The camera's not going to pick up on it. But I thought I had like these pressure marks that basically look like little burns, like they bubbled up.
Joe saw me on Saturday. I was like, what the hell are these?
And it must have been like the way with the boot and the sock, like it pressured in these weird little spots. So I had that, and it's been fine. There was one point that Sarah got into bed like in the middle of the night, and her leg ran right over it, and I woke up in the middle of the night like, ah! Screaming like a baby.
Lauren gave me just like one of these, like a little like, and she squeezed a little. And I don't know why my shoulders were. There was because that's not a great motion on a podcast, but from the moving from side to side.
Skiing.
She gave me one of those squeezes. I literally vaulted and screamed like it hurt so much.
Yeah.
She's like, what? I'm like, I'm so sore right now. You have no idea. But dude, so Friday, getting up there Friday early.
Nice, easy trip.
Oh, beautiful. No snow.
Yeah.
The roads were easy. The car was amazing.
GMC Acadia, right?
Yeah, very nice car.
Very nice.
Elevation, I think, is the model type. I saw it. I just saw it at the very last day. I was like, oh, this is like the trim model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Tremendous day of skiing. The hardest part of that was stopping. Like I could have just kept doing runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they don't close that one down, right? They let you go. They just.
I think they said it was open till midnight.
It was the first night that was open to midnight. You could have gone for as long as you wanted.
Yeah. Just wore yourself out. Again, beautiful Airbnb, perfect Airbnb. Minus the only issue with the Airbnb was
the old lady in Vladimir.
Oh, Vladimir. Well, no, in the heat, the hot water.
Oh, the hot water.
There was no
2 showers, no hot water. It was the coldest shower I've ever taken. After being outside all day, you just want a hot shower.
Yep.
Then Friday night, saw Lauren's cousin. Drinking.
That was nice.
Yeah, drinking 36 Coors Lights, went easy peasy. Saturday, just absolutely ball and knobs knob.
Dude, we're pulling.
Oh,
up
that is
to
it's insane.
Knob. And you pull into you make the turn off the main road, and within like a second of going up, there's a line. There's a line.
You could see people parking outside, walking. It was wild.
Yeah. It was a fuck moment.
Oh yeah, like did we get here that late that we fucked this up that bad? And no,
it was more packed than it's ever been.
Yeah,
at least in the parking lot.
It didn't feel. I agree with you guys. It did not. It didn't feel that busy. Maybe
even the back runs were that bad.
Maybe the lines to get on the lifts were a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it did. When you got up there, it wasn't very crowded.
Yeah.
No.
You were able to get to where you wanted to go and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Peter jerked me around, making me do the same freaking blue twice in a row.
Did you hit your head? No, you did.
No,
you survived that. All that.
I missed the first time. I think we did it. I just did a full send on the last one, and I couldn't slow down, so I had to stop. But then the second time, I was able to slow it down and stop. And I also wasn't sure which lift we were going to.
Yep.
So I was in between.
Which way to go?
Yeah. So I was and then I was just I'm not going to slow down, and there's the lodge and people.
And then
go down.
Poor Chris, we get to the and at Knobs Knob, there's a back. There's a back mountains. So there's a bunch of beautiful runs, tremendous runs over there. I maybe we were just always a little I felt like we did those. I had a way better understanding of how good those runs were. I felt like actually did a ton. Maybe we just used to go there and do the bathroom, do a couple runs, and get out of there right away. But I felt like we did every single run there pretty much.
Yeah,
I just don't remember doing as many runs there.
I don't feel like we.
Or maybe they weren't open
Well,
as
there was
many before.
Brownie was closed, and then we didn't do a couple off to the side. Those happened to be like blues and blacks. We didn't do a lot of blacks this go around.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just because last year a lot of them were closed.
That's what it is. That's one thing for sure. This year with the snow that they got, it was awesome. It was wide open.
They got a ton this week again, apparently.
Yeah. Boyne Mountain. Just, I don't remember. They have like a backside to it. We've never done the backside on Boyne. I remember the back where it was all pretty much blues and then all those blacks.
Yep.
Remember the black you and me did? We cut across 4 blacks praying to the almighty Jesus. Just hoping not to, because it was all fresh powder.
It's like a major intersection.
Oh, yeah. That too.
Flying down, and you're just like, I'm sorry.
That may have been the most scary thing on Saturday when your guys were like, we're going to go to these back runs, but you got to take a full send or you're going to have a bad time. And I'm like, okay. So I full send it.
Yeah.
And then Joe, like, I see Joe cut in front of me. And then, which wasn't bad. And then all of a sudden you just see like a group of like 8 people. And I'm going and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to slow down. And these people are just like, they had no fucks to give. They just right in front. And Joe, like, he was there. And Joe's like, whoop, like this, up and around them. I'm like, oh, God. And, like, luckily, when I got there, nobody was there.
I tried to go ahead just to, like, literally check that for that path. Because I was like, yeah, it's a full send. It's a very flat, like, it comes down. And then it's just very flat and around the woods. So for this one, you really have to just give it everything. Otherwise, you will just be like,
oh, yeah.
The whole time. And there's only one intersection, and we get there, and I was like, I'll go in front, just make sure it's clear. As I get closer, there's like 2 people, and I'm like, okay, 3 4 people, 5. Gets to like 8 people. None of them give a break whatsoever. They just and they're all within like
they're all
2
together.
or 3
yeah, they're
feet
all
of each other. And I'm like, yo, there's a whole line of people, like. You just kind of.
And I
think we have the full send on that one. They have the yield. I think they have the yield. I'm pretty sure
they did not yield.
No, they did not. They took up the entire path at one point of that intersection.
That was one thing that kind of got me too a little bit. Is there was really a lot. Actually, the etiquette wasn't as bad this time. There were a few real pains in the ass. There's one kid when Chris was going down. I don't know if he had to win one of the blues. No, maybe it was a green. And he was just being an absolute, like he was just so close. Yeah, it was the blue. It was the Snow Pro where you do the loop around.
Oh, yeah.
And that motherfucker was just on Chris's ass. And I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. Like, I'm screaming at him, get the fuck away. Like, what are you doing, bud? Like, give him the space he needs. Yeah, you look cool. You got no skis. You got no poles. You're a badass. We get it. Just to make people uncomfortable because you think you're a badass.
Yeah.
I don't remember that kid.
Yeah, he was behind you kind of really. I'm like, you motherfucker. Chris
if I would have fallen, he would have fallen with me. He would have not gone back up.
I'd have
murdered him. I'd have fucking murdered him, Joe.
And then I love the after the live music, but I wish they would get some better live music. Like guy, he was trying to be like Dave Matthews almost esque.
Yeah, he was trying to fuck some people in that crowd with the songs he was singing.
Yeah, it was
real. It wasn't like cheery. It was a little more sensual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, bring the classics. Yep. I would love for one day to just bring a DJ.
Football games were on too. It was kind of like it didn't even fit the football game vibe.
No, but the footballs
a lot of people were in there.
The footballs are always going.
Yeah.
Well, that was because the Detroit game, right? Or no?
No, the Detroit game was later. Yeah, the Detroit game was later.
That was hilarious being at Gypsy Vodka.
Oh, my God.
And one of the largest men I've ever been around in my entire life. Yeah. Absolute sweetheart. Dude was just enormous. And, I mean, both, like, tall and like, he was taller than you, wider than Chris ever was. Built like a fucking house.
Yeah, he was built like a house.
And he was riding an emotional journey watching that Detroit game.
Up and down.
Man, oh man. Everybody. I had never so politely been told to go fuck myself in my entire life than at that bar. Me and Peter go up to the bar. We grab a round and we're kind of watching the game, just standing, and this woman comes up and she goes, "Hey, you guys are very tall and that's really sexy. But
Get the fuck out of my way.
basically, just move out of the way because we're trying to watch the game. And
I was trying to watch the game. I couldn't get past the DJ and the two older ladies just dancing.
Oh, my God.
And just ripping it. I'm like, this is.
The DJ was having more fun, I think, than anybody.
Yeah,
in that bar.
I remember some snaps Peter sent me of that place when you guys went up there. And I'm like.
The first year.
And the last year, I went the year before and was a lady singer who was very good.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad. But it was a quite different vibe.
And I'm like, we were the only people in there.
Yeah, and I walked into this place. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here?
I didn't realize. I did realize, but not until later. How many Gypsy vodka Sprites I had.
You had at least 4.
I had 4. Yeah. And then thinking about it now, I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. No wonder you were so gone by the end of the fucking night.
I stopped at my third. They were going down so well.
They were going down too easy.
They were. I stopped at 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 Gypsy vodkas and Sprite after 12 to 14 hours of straight drinking Coors Light.
Yeah,
not
true.
Smart.
I mean, and then you go to the Ho Zone, and then you get 5 Coors Lights and a double of mezcal or tequila for $21. Sign me up again, Joe.
And again, we get in there, and this time the club there was a lot more people. Everybody was very shy.
Though. Yeah,
they were probably upset that
Bart,
Detroit
Homer,
lost.
and Mo over here jump on that floor like we own the motherfucker.
Pierre gets his one song on, and me and Joe immediately are on the
and then
dance
everybody
floor.
and their mother's ready to go.
Kicking that inflatable football around that Joe me couldn't stand.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to come in like a cartoon character and just pop that balloon and just ruin every. That fucking thing was pissing me off so much. And until it hit that lady right in her drink, and it went fucking everywhere. And I was like, you know what? That's what they get for being dumb motherfuckers. We're trying to dance on the dance floor.
Yep.
They're trying to kick around this stupid football thing. And now this lady spilled her drink. And then she ended up spilling it a second time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if the second time was football related.
No, it was not.
Okay, and then the only complaint I have for the whole weekend is how we had maybe 1 or 2 good servers. But how fucking ridiculously awful at Knob's Nub the bartenders were.
That guy
was fuck yourself.
I don't know if his name was Bob or Greg. It was something like that.
Oh, yeah, one of the two.
He was not having it.
Fuck you, Bob or Greg.
So we get there. We're kind of standing because it's a packed place.
Yep.
Post as they're cleaning.
As they run the snow again.
And so a bunch of people come in.
I think they call this the Apres, right? Or is the Apres? What is the Apres? I always thought the Apres was that time that they regrade, but I think it might be the beginning before the ski opens.
I don't know what this word even means.
This is what here I'll show you real quick. When I sent you this,
I think Apres is after.
Okay, so yes,
I think
yeah.
Because that's like an Apres or Apres aperitif. Whatever.
Oh, you said so, you did send that? I have absolutely no idea what that word meant. Ski. Yeah, that must be like.
Can't do that too often. We'll get kicked off the YouTube.
Yeah. But, so Peter's standing by the card reader. There's no sign, nothing.
Yeah, nobody. Yep.
Tons of people standing right next to Peter, too. Like, there's a door. People are coming in and out. Guy goes, couldn't even hear him.
Does it? They're not even English.
Pointing. Peter's like, huh? I'm like, I didn't hear him either.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking coming in like Charlie Brown. Any adult in Charlie Brown. Exactly. And then he goes, you can't stand there. That's where we charge people. And Peter's like, oh, my bad. I'll just move out of the way. Like, very politely. I had no clue.
Scooches up a little bit on the bar.
Go. Still not happy. Move over more.
I was like, dude.
All right. Then I go up to order a drink, and this guy basically comes up to me, and he goes, yeah, you can go fuck yourself. Fuck you. Fuck your friends.
Yeah.
Fuck your family.
You missed it. Like, he was trying to get Peter away. Like, he wanted Peter not up on the bar at all. He kicked, like, the 3 guys that were next to Peter, because I was in between Peter and the 3 guys, and I was like, fuck, I'm not even dealing with this guy. I'm gonna come around there and boot him in the face. And then he, like, yells at the 3 guys. He's like, you can't be here. You can't stand here. You got to move. And the guys were like, and they were just like, they had the same reaction I did, like, whatever. And then you go up there, try to order a drink. He looks, he's like, nah, fuck you.
He comes up to me and he's like, no.
Fuck you.
Like, doesn't say anything,
like,
he just walks away.
He's like, fuck you, bro, with his eyes. And then Peter hits the top of the bar laughing, and I'm dying laughing too. And he turns around and looks at you, and he's like, what the fuck you do?
So pissed that somebody did that. It's like, sorry, I didn't know we weren't allowed to have fun here.
That's what I'm like, why are you? I just don't get that shit.
Yeah. And then the lady at the casino.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yep.
So and then we go to the casino, and this lady's been there for 2 years in a row. Your job is to try to get tips. Just be polite. You don't have to like it.
Oh,
How do you not think it? What do you think? I didn't tip her shit the whole night because she was such a bitch. From the start, I didn't say nothing to her.
Was not a happy
I tried
person.
to turn on the Joe Keneally charm, and she's just like, get out of here, dumbass.
She's so cold.
She is ice
And then those
cold.
two jackasses, I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, you work at a ski resort. At this, you guys grade the snow, so we come in here and we spend a fuck ton of money on your alcohol, and yet you're pissed.
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite servers were the ones at Mitchell's Pub on Saturday, where they were like trying to stack peanuts on each other, and that was hilarious.
That one.
And they were talking wrestling. I'm like, what the hell is going on here,
dude? There was one lady there who was like, "Yeah, I used to deadlift 350," and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
wow." She's like, "Yeah, I used to be jacked," and I was like,
"Wouldn't see it."
Excuse me.
Crazy. I don't know what to say. Like, I honestly still don't know what to say to that. Congrats, you used to be jacked. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I knew you then.
It was a weird flex. Yeah, it was a very weird flex.
I love that bar, but that bar, like, that used to be so that was the only game in town.
Oh, really?
So that used to have, like, it used to be super busy. And now, not that it's like,
you'd have all those tables filled with people and stuff like that.
The jukebox would be flowing. Like, peanuts would be flying, the popcorn.
You'd be chatting with them.
Yeah, you'd be just shooting the shit. You couldn't even fucking stand. And now it's a little bit more laid back. The Vinyl Bar, fucking love the Vinyl Bar.
That place closed. That place closed way too early.
Well, everyone there closes too early.
Well, I mean, like,
it's
we found that one bar
12.
Yeah, we found the one bar that was doing karaoke that was open until like 1. That was kind of
that
nice.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
Here's the thing though, we did one thing. We're gonna
that bar had a bunch of creeps in it though.
We did. We're gonna do Colorado next year. The year after that, when we go back, I think we got
everything will be closed.
We got to be just a little bit more. We got to think more about that Friday night drink show. Like, we got to try to rein it in just a bit, because I think we can go to bed till like 3 or 4, and then we were up at 10. Like, and not that I felt too shitty, because I went right back to drinking, but I feel like we used to do a little bit better job of. I remember waking up at like 9 to go cook, and I was like, "Fuck this! There's no way."
I was trying to think what the. I mean,
and we weren't even out drinking. We were just shooting the shit at home.
I think
we
were saying. Yeah, we were saying on the
also
chair.
all pretty buzzed at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were all just having fun. Yeah, I thought we went to bed closer to like 2:30 than like 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still kind of a little bit later, especially like an hour and a half after the bars close.
I mean, Saturday night was the one night I really remember getting into bed and then still not going to bed.
Oh yeah.
And then we all got up. Yeah.
That was
great fucking
yeah.
time.
That was a wild night where the Vladimir yelled out his window. He's like, "Come back to my house."
I never told Lauren about that. So I was actually reviewing the Airbnb. She gave us a great review. I was giving her a review, and I was telling Lauren about those 2 stars. She's like, Peter, like, you guys got to be careful. Like, and I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you know, if Vlad had a gun. I'm like, Lauren, do you not understand? Like, we were picking Clarence. We weren't going back there. He was throwing we all knew, like, don't fuck, like this.
Yeah, the minute he said, the minute he said, come back to my house, it's like, no, we're not doing that.
No,
we know there's something wrong here. These people, and then here's the thing: those idiots did not park in front of the house at all.
No, that was okay. So to let the people know, Friday night as we're going to Mitchell's. As we're going to the Petoskey Brewing.
Yep.
We all get in the car. We happen to be parked not in front of. If the house is right here, we're just like a couple feet to the right of it. Next house over.
Yeah.
And it's like 8, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
It was about 8 o'clock at night, because I think the
bar closed at 9. Yeah.
Or like
so
9:30.
we're getting in the car, and we're getting in the car and leaving, and the lady turns on the light in her front door. She must have been waiting for us.
Oh yeah.
Comes out and she goes, "Are you guys leaving?" And we're like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay, good. Don't park there when you come back. My son parks there."
No, so she's like, yeah, don't park there. And I'm like, I thought she was trying to be polite.
Yeah.
You're right.
Petoskey's got the Petoskey's got the stupidest
parking rules.
Parking rules.
Certain side of the street.
Based on it, even odd, and it switches at 2 a.m.
Yep.
Whatever. And I was like, oh, she's trying to be nice and make sure we don't get a ticket. My son Vlad parks there, and we're like, we all just look at each other like.
It was like a double take for, I think, me and Pierce. Like, wait, what?
Huh?
And then you look, and there's still enough spot for Vlad to park behind us.
Mind you, the entire street's empty.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
there's only 2 cars in a 1 block.
Mind you,
bit of street.
The whole entire street's empty, except she's like, yeah, you can't park here, and like the rules say that, like, the lady who rents the Airbnb is like very nice, and her rules like, hey, park in front of the house, because the people to the left and right like to park in front of their houses.
Mm-hmm.
The only spot in that whole entire block that's taken is the spot in front of the house that we're staying in.
Yep.
So it's like, well, we're gonna park where we need to park.
Yeah.
It's just silliness.
And then literally the next day, Saturday,
Vlad's it is out the window screaming at us.
We're walking to like Gypsy Vodka or like one of the bars around there, I think, to start. And I mean, we're just walking, and the guy's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up!" And we're like, "What the fuck?" Like. Yeah. Clarence is like, "Yeah, go fuck yourself. You go suck a dick."
Oh yeah, Clarence is not having it.
Come back here and say that. We're like, "No, thank you.
Have a good day."
Yeah. Come outside and catch these hands.
Yeah, it was like, dude, what a fuck. Whatever.
That's still a good time. Still a good time.
That was a great time.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude, I can't. It honestly kills me a little bit to say we're going to Colorado because I want to go back so bad. I want to go back there. I'm excited to go to Colorado, but I want to so badly go back to. It's the best trip of the year.
It is.
Like Brian Hamilton doesn't get overly emotional. Doesn't ever, he's not a huge feelings guy. But when he says, "Hey, like I can't stop thinking about it," he just literally said what everybody was thinking.
Oh yeah.
Like you're just thinking about the ski lifts up, having a beer, the wind in your hair. I did not check
5
email.
hours of I didn't check my watch.
Nope.
I didn't check my phone for like 5 hours to see. I didn't care what time it was.
Nope.
I didn't care. Somebody's going to tell me when it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's one of those places where, you just. I'm
and
not
it feels
saying
like
you're
time
one
slows
with nature, but like, you just ignore all the other shit. Everything, you're not looking at work emails.
It's insane.
Not looking at text messages.
Yeah.
You're not on your phone at all.
You don't care about it's just there's no cares in it's just you're so careless. All you care about is getting down that run and getting back up and getting his money. What's the hardest part of that was Saturday for me was the knowing the last run. Like the last run was coming and it was just like, oh my God, I gotta get another one in. I gotta get another one in.
Yeah, that when I saw when we're coming up, I'm like, what time is it? Like I had no idea. And Brian's like 4:15. I'm like, get the hell out of here. It's 4:15. They close this thing down at 4:30. We got a couple. Yeah. No, we get up to the top. It says 4:15. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta start flying.
Yeah.
And then I think I got like 2 more runs, and then like you guys are like, "Hey, come up for," and I'm like, "I can't." They shut down all the runs. I literally pulled up. I'm like,
"Yeah,
get there." I'm like chugging to get to this, like, because I can see people in line, and they're like laying one, and I get there, and the guy's like, "Send her down." And I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, we called you, but you saying that reminded me immediately. Chris took a couple spills the first day. The last spill that he took was like the hardest by and far
from anybody we've ever seen take a hit.
Absolutely,
thank God he had a helmet on.
Knocked his noggin a bit, and so there was a question. I don't know exactly how it happened, but the idea of a concussion came up. Like, are you okay?
Oh, it was the ladies next to us. They said my eyes weren't dilated.
Are those okay? Yeah. I didn't know if it was like discussed amongst us.
The weed queens next to me who had their eyes, who smelled like Bob Marley and had red eyes.
Also, and their kids were there. Ladies and gentlemen, like this was.
Oh yeah, didn't know that. Yeah, they didn't have kids with them at this moment. So we get up the thing. We get up to the top. There's a nice little like fire pit and a little like one of those like foil station wagon things, and they sell liquor out of there. So we all grab a couple drinks and we sit by the fire.
Also insanely expensive.
Yes,
outrageous.
Very much so. Top of the mountain prices, without a doubt. Hey, you wanna buy a beer for cheaper?
Yeah.
Ski down the mountain, fuckface.
Yeah.
So
ass puckering type.
Oh
prices.
yeah. So we sit down. We're talking to Chris. We're all like, "Hey, are you doing okay?" He took a spill. These 2 ladies are just like, "Do you have a concussion? Do you have a concussion? Your eyes are dilated. Do you have a concussion?" I don't think anyone in that conversation knew what it meant for eyes to be dilated. Yeah. I still don't know if eyes dilated are bigger or smaller.
I'm pretty sure when they dilate your eyes at the eye doctor,
they get really big.
Yeah, so mine weren't.
His were tiny. Yeah, that's where I was like so confused.
Also, he would have been nauseous like immediately.
100%, probably thrown up or something like that. Yeah,
I had my noggin rocked there for a second.
Yeah. No doubt about that. No doubt, but I don't think I
had a concussion.
These women were talking about concussions. And I think they were just trying to take advantage of Chris.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because
come down the mountain with us. We'll and it was just like it was weird.
Yeah. Then we go to the Eagle's Nest.
Oh yes.
They're there.
Yes. That's what it was.
One of the ladies has 2 kids. Mind you, this lady's got like a vape. She's like puffing at the top of the mountain. She looks like a fucking chimney. Like it's just coming. Then we go to this fucking Eagle's Nest thing. Also, like top of the mountain, other side. Grab a cup of beer there.
And that lady,
She's
they
right
were
there. And she's with
relentless.
2 children. And we're like, what the fuck?
They're like, yeah, come sit with us. I'm like, hell no, I'm staying as far away from you.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Quinn medicine woman over here trying to tell me my eyes are dilated.
Insane. Absolutely insane. But
She's
nice,
like, she also
very
whispered,
nice people,
she's like, you have kind eyes. I'm like, your hair sequenced.
It was weird. I was like, we got to get Chris away from these people.
Pierre's like, we're going to send you back down the mountain. I'm like, I'm not ready, Pierre. He's like, no, you're going.
Yeah, before these ladies try to take you.
It's either you die by
yes.
harpies or
Die by snoo or you.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's by snoo, Joe.
Yeah, you either death by snoo or take your chances and live another day.
I think I looked at Pierre. I'm like, I'd rather die skiing.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
me away.
No, and then the ride home wasn't bad. We got home like lickety split airport.
I mean,
done.
outside of that
was
same
like
spot
couples,
in Grand Rapids, that little like 2-lane curve in Grand Rapids where we got stuck on the way up and stuck on the. I mean, and then like a couple like little spots.
There was
like
a couple like
whiteout
whiteout moments. Yeah. I mean, the last whiteout was within an hour of Brian's place, which was mind blowing to me.
I was pissed that I didn't get any Big B on the way home. I was looking forward to it.
You could have said something.
I was like, there goes the last Big B. And Pierre's like, no, we got it on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that you liked Big B. I'm sorry.
Are you a Big B guy?
They have great refresher.
They have like nice like drinks.
The refresher things. I always think about Peter and coffee, and I'm like, I don't think you drink coffee.
No.
So I thought you were joking.
I did
but
try.
I forgot they did the refresher.
I did try Peter's coffee, and I did try Brian's
That's
coffee.
on me.
They're both good.
I should have asked. I was just like,
Pierre's like, we got to get the car back.
I was a little nervous about that.
There was that. There was Brian's
Yes.
dinner reservation.
Yeah, the dinner reservation was more worrisome.
I get the reason why. Yeah.
Came home, had dinner with Lauren's dad. Had a really nice night. In bed by 8:30. It legitimately took me till until Thursday to feel like I'd gotten enough sleep. And it wasn't. But the other thing is, it's been so goddamn cold in Chicago that you run in the heat and your apartment is so goddamn dry. You just don't sleep well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it didn't help that house felt very dry.
Yeah,
and you didn't get probably decent sleep there either.
Which is it was definitely a different situation than I'm used to. And I popped the window open the whole just to.
That was a good call.
Yeah. Keep it somewhat chill, cool too. But yeah, I mean, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the Midwest, and you're close enough to the upper part of Michigan, there's legitimately no better skiing in the Midwest. Maybe Wisconsin upper, like some professional ass skiing up deeper up in the Wisconsin, which I think is very close to where we're at.
Oh, okay.
Like we could.
You could loop the loop. It may take you a little bit of time, but you could.
Yeah, it might be another hour if that. But there's like
the other issue,
like pro
yeah,
shit.
The other the other issue maybe is if you're trying to.
That's also if you just want to ski. Like you want to party and you want options for partying. There's casinos. There's restaurants. There's Boyne Mountain.
There's the Ho Zone.
You're better off in the Michigan. I think.
Does anyone know what that place is called now? I didn't even
It's like
look
Legends
up
or
to see the
something.
name.
Oh,
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I was like, I have no idea what it's called now anymore.
All right, and then tonight, we are checking out the Guinness Brewery in Chicago. It's brand new.
Fulton Market.
So I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be some dinner. There's going to be some drinks.
I think it's the second location that they opened in the U.S.
Oh, wow. Good for Chicago. Chicago also just got a pretty big, not like a huge, I forget what they do. Damn it, I should remember this. But they just got another big, pretty decently sized corporation that's moving to Chicago.
Oh, wow.
So, okay. Good for them. Love the city, minus the mayor right now. And then we're going to receive our favorite cover band, South City Revival is at Carol's tonight, so
nice.
Gonna get a little dance on, a little drink on.
Nice.
So I'm excited. So it's gonna be a good night. There'll be a lot of stories for next week. Let's jump into last week's news to start off this week.
Track got inaugurated.
Yep.
Oh, nailed it.
I just don't know if we want to. I can't.
I'm not going down that road with you guys.
Yeah, we can.
Everything he's doing is.
Or another beer.
I thought Joe's mic went for a second.
Oh no, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just.
Hey, can you go?
Hey,
fuckface, go get me a
Hey, fuckface. No, he. I mean, some of the things it just makes you so sad.
I heard someone saying, on the news that he's testing the limits of his presidential powers.
Yep.
Like, not on
Thanks,
purpose,
Chris.
but I'm like, that's a great example. He's pulling a lot of stuff that presidents have never done before, and just trying to see what takes, I guess.
Yeah, we could. I mean, and I get that, he said he was going to do a lot of these things, and he's doing it. So people are getting what they wanted. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. But it really does make one. Well, actually, because I do have a note here. The one thing that did make me kind of sad was Trump trying to revoke. Well, it made me sad, but then it opened my eyes, and then it's like, what's really the right answer? Trump revoked the birthright citizenship. Like he's like, no, we're not doing that.
It's a very interesting thing because
the reason it's interesting is because we're like one of the only countries that actually does that.
Yeah, the birthright thing is there's especially if you live in the U.S. A lot of people don't know in other parts of the world, if you're born in this country, whether your parents are citizens or not, you are legally a citizen of this country. So what could happen is families will come here, have their child here, and then they're citizens.
Yeah.
Now Trump's thing is, I'm going to get rid of illegals, and then children of illegals will have to also get their citizenship revoked and then out. So it's a very weird thing, because one could argue we're all not citizens, natural citizens of the United States, and technically, I don't think people of the Mayflower got their papers. They just kind of came and you know what I mean? Like, it's a very
so how does that
weird...
make me a citizen if I was like? That's kind of.
Oh, Joe, are you worried that you're gonna get deported?
No, my parents are citizens. Although I did think about it initially, I was like, "Fuck, am I in trouble? Like, could I get?" I was like, "No, my parents have their citizenship."
Though, right?
I was, but my parents are.
Oh, but you're right. So that, whatever. But so then,
they're not
Chris
illegal.
Did enlighten me that that's not for every country. So I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe that's not a normal thing. And then I thought about it, like, it's in the Constitution, like it's a legit, like, in the Constitution, like, well, I think it's like 14th Amendment, or it's an amendment in the Constitution.
A federal judge, I think, blocked it within the last 2 days.
And every Supreme Court constitutional lawyer have all said, like, he wants to see if he can do it. He made a campaign promise. He's throwing it out there. He'll let the courts decide. But again, I feel like a lot of Trump's supporters are kind of hypocritical. And I think, like, didn't we say, like, don't a lot of these guys say we're constitutional, like, everything by the Constitution? And then, like, he comes out and the first thing he does is like, hey, we're just going to say no to the Constitution. We're going to revoke. And it's like,
yeah.
Isn't that like
absolutely
slap you in the face?
Well, I mean, he gave everyone on January 6th a pardon.
That really
and
pissed
then
me
he
off.
immediately lost the I mean, it means nothing now, but the Fraternal Order Police revoked or pulled back their endorsement.
That's again another thing. The Republican Party, that is the party supposedly the party that defends and honors and embraces the police department, the police fraternity. Literally, just how do you feel about convicted felons who were bear mace, tasing, beating?
That's the thing. It was like a blanket
people were just doing
thing.
their job.
There were people there. You could argue that there were people there protesting peacefully, but there were definitely people protesting violently and got violent with people, and it just like blanket pardoned everyone in that. And so it's like
even the Proud Boy, like the two, like one,
the Proud Boy, the guys.
He had like 22
Proud
years,
Boy.
and they're like, no, you're good.
Yep. So it's a very interesting thing.
Ross Ulbricht,
had
2 life sentences in 54 years.
Mm-hmm.
Pardoned.
Yeah.
Silk Road founder.
Oh yeah. And that's people are saying, like, does that mean cryptocurrency is good? Like,
oh, he calls himself the crypto king.
Yeah.
So, craziness, crazy.
And now my favorite segment is Elon Musk autistic or racist?
Probably both.
Hamas. So Hamas and
Israel.
Israel. Thank you. I was thinking Iran for some reason. And they've got a peace treaty, and it's not a peace treaty.
Another one testing the waters.
Yes, not a peace treaty. It's a
ceasefire.
Yeah,
and so they've returned 3 women, and they gave them gift packages on their way out, or gift bags. They're like, hey, You can go home now, and here's a gift bag. Thank you for spending 400 days with us.
What was in the gift bag?
It was pictures of their time together.
Oh, Jesus.
Swear to God, a necklace, and a certificate that said, we released it. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up.
Oh, my God.
Pictures. These poor fucking women. You know what they want? 400 days with probably some of the smelliest, nastiest dudes in the entire world. And they want pictures.
I swear, the only way you could have topped that is if you would have given them like a little card that, like, on your 10th hostage situation, you can get like a free sandwich.
It's so bad.
Or
dude.
they get like or they give you a get out of free hostage card
It's
or
like
something.
if you had stayed 500 days, we would have given you $100,000,
Yeah.
and you're like, I've never been more torn in my life.
Yeah. It really smells bad here. Do you guys don't have pot, but
That is the most wild.
Oh my God. I was like, are you out of your mind?
That's so insulting.
Yeah. This is insane. So here's a crazy thing.
Like it's fucking Disneyland. Here's your Hey, I hope you had a wonderful time.
There you go.
There's some pictures of you
Yeah.
chained to the wall.
Yeah.
Don't let the door
You
hit you.
next to dead bodies.
The whole time, there's like a dude taking pictures of the whole. They're like, "Don't you worry. At the end of this all, you're gonna want these photos.
You're gonna get
Oh my God, we gotta stop.
Hey,
joking
you're
about
gonna
this.
like
This
the
is
way
not
you
good. We gotta
look.
stop
I
joking about this.
guarantee it."
Oh my God. All right, let's get something crazier or happier.
Oh yeah, here we go,
Let's get
crazy.
it. Okay, New Orleans got, I think, like a couple
foot of snow.
Not a foot.
So they said when I looked it up on Wednesday, they said like some places they got like 10 to 12 inches.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
New Orleans did. I think got a couple inches of snow. Let's see. We'll figure.
I'm looking it up right now because they said it was like
That place must have shut down.
Oh yeah, Indiana. A company with plows in Indiana sent vehicles. They heard that this was going on. Sent vehicles down to New Orleans.
Wow.
On the hope that they
New Orleans and several other communities got 10 inches.
Oh, it's at least a foot, almost a foot. Yeah, absolutely. And so they sent all these trucks down there, and they're making a killing because like they did it on a whim. And New Orleans government's like, go, please, do what you can to help us. And they're making a ton of money doing it.
New Orleans is an old city.
Oh,
I would not be surprised if governments were, or parts of the government were like, hey, don't go to these areas because it's nothing but cobble roads. Like you can't plow those streets.
they
Like
can't.
No.
Nope.
that is an old city.
I mean, there was what is it though? There was a truck, and I'm pretty sure the roads on Bourbon Street are cobbled. They did have a picture of a salt truck or like a plow going down.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not a. Well, I don't know. You're right. I'd have to see.
I mean,
I was thinking maybe salt, but you're right.
I have no idea. I don't remember if it actually had the plow in
This
front,
is
but it was like
this is like the worst. Not the worst, but it's not like that bad. But it's tough for them. It was the worst amount of the largest amount of snow they've had in over 100, 150 years. Like it's a once in a lifetime deal.
Okay.
All of the South.
Everything.
Houston.
I mean, halfway down to Florida, I think like Miami didn't get it, but like even Miami had like seasonably cool weather.
Connor, or my buddy who lives in Fort Myers, 50 degrees, and he said it was so bad. Like he's like, I'm not used to anything lower than 70, 65.
Yeah.
He's like 50, you want to die.
Can you remember that bridge
I
that we
would've
took
taken it.
back from in New Orleans after the boat tour thing?
Mm-hmm.
That enormously tall bridge.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine a plow just like throwing snow off of that?
Oh dude.
And then, like a little bit hits the barrier wall, and then the rest just drops like 100 feet onto someone's house or some shit.
Insane.
That would be crazy.
Dude, it's just I thought that was I like America's like this week last week in America was absolutely fucking insane.
Wild times, baby.
I mean the world is upside down right now.
I don't know if it's like a situation built on just this is what's popular, but I've been getting recommended a lot of like here's how you get a visa for this country and this country and this country. I've been getting a lot of those on YouTube, or like what it's like to live in this country, and I'm like, I can't. What?
Yeah.
I guess everybody's looking at this, and that's why I'm getting recommended.
I'm sure they are.
Because here, all right, I'll say it. We shouldn't get political, but I'm on Coors Light number 3, and I'm feeling a little good.
Let's go.
Oh damn, 3.
The fucking billionaires are gonna fuck this country up over the next 4 years.
Without a doubt.
And that's it.
Without a doubt.
They don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit about you. They're gonna pillage this.
It's going to kind of be like one of those things where they push it so far one way
Yep.
that the next person who comes in that tries to bring it back this way,
it's still going to be better for them.
It's going to make them look like the bad guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and everything like that. You're going to like. This is what happens. Like you get like into that situation, then like the only way out is, hey, guess what? We get 70% taxes because we're so fucking broke because we let all this shit slide for 4 years. Now we got to bring it back the other way.
Here's just a way to think about it. Oof. Elon Musk paid but here's the go. Zuckerberg was a huge Democrat, spent millions of dollars donating to the political or the Democratic Party. Trump's in the office, gives a massive amount of money to Trump's inauguration so he could be there because they understand what they have to do. Elon Musk spent hundreds of millions of dollars getting Trump elected he wanted to get rid of the EV credits. And they're like, oh, but he's got an EV company. No, the Tesla EV credits are already out the door. These credits are making his competition stronger. We have a softer relationship now with China because Elon Musk, 50% of his EVs are made in China. So he's told Trump, you cannot be a dick to China because my cars have to be made there. That's where we're at. And if you don't believe it, look up, just do a little bit of research on why things are happening for certain reasons. It's just insane.
Yeah. And we're going to make Canada the 51st state, Joe. We love it.
Baseball Hall of Famers, Ichiro Suzuki, one shy of an unanimous decision. That man, whenever I played.
His comment was great.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah.
And it's such a bullshit reason. I found this out in our chat.
Yep.
That it's like I think you said it, or maybe it was Chris.
I forget which Hall of Fame player didn't get a unanimous.
There was Derek Jeter was one of them. Derek Jeter missed out.
No, but like one of the originals, like
the OG.
Was it like
somebody mentioned
Sandy
Babe
Koufax
Ruth?
or
it could have been probably
Cy Young.
It could have been probably like. Well, Cy Young was Cy Young.
I'm just asking.
Cy Young, or no, not Cy Young. Ty Cobb was a racist.
Yeah, one of the biggest, one of the best baseball players ever did not get a unanimous decision, and the reporters now will not do it based on because you can't say if he's not unanimous.
I think the problem is like if you weren't if you didn't kiss ass back in the day to these reporters,
yeah.
And they were the ones voting for you. You were the one. You were getting shut out.
So this is a dumb question because I don't know. I mean, Ichiro is retired then.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. He's been retired. So you have to be retired 5 years before you can be up for a Hall of Fame. So he's been retired for 5 years.
He was. I mean, I used to love playing with him in the MLB 2000 whatever.
Oh yeah.
Because he was so fast. His automatic base hit. He was great. He was awesome to watch.
He had a great comment, too, when he got into the Hall of Fame.
What did he say?
I want to meet the one and have a dinner with them or something like that.
Have a drink with them.
Have a drink with them.
So I can slap them around.
Yeah.
Did you see cookies? I actually wrote cookies, but this is Oreo and Post Malone have a
collaboration?
They're doing a collab.
Did not see that.
Do the cookies sing? What?
No, so it's going to be a chocolate. And then I think it's vanilla
it's like chocolate and vanilla are the OG ones.
So but the one cookie is chocolate, and what's the other? You can either get a brownie,
kind of like a vanilla wafer one.
Yeah,
the white one.
What are they? Golden, like the golden.
The golden ones. Yeah.
So one side's the original Oreo, the other side's the golden, in the middle is a cinnamon, salted caramel twist. And it's the first time they've ever done a twist for the frosting. It's always been one flavor.
That sounds kind of interesting. I'd give it a shot.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Post Malone was in a commercial with Shane Gillis for Bud Light.
Bud Light.
They had it kind of came up like a.
Shane Gillis looked like shit. Sorry, Shane, you look like shit, brother. I don't know who the fuck is dressing you, but bro, the weird
dude hasn't changed the way he dressed at all.
Why are we still doing the polo, bud?
He loves that polo. He's like every.
It's also like the athletic golf polo, and you've probably never golfed. Yeah. I feel like he's never golfed a day in his life. He's just got that athletic golf polo on.
Somebody described him as. Well, when Notre Dame, he was on a show. He was on a lot for sports TV during the Notre Dame run. And one of the top comments I saw in one of the videos was like, this guy's the embodiment of every bro that goes to Notre Dame. They wear these dumb fucking collars out, and they look like slobs.
Yep.
And it's just like, it's what they're about. And it's just, yeah.
I know Pat would his first comment on this podcast would have been like,
who the hell is Shane Gillis?
No, he would have been like, hell yeah, I'm so happy for Ohio. Fuck Notre Dame. I know he would have been all about that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm surprised Joe's here right now, not beating.
All the bruises are hidden.
Oh, nice.
No, watching that game, I pulled up. I
did
pulled
watch
it up.
Huh?
I pulled it up for like the last 10 minutes of the second quarter, or before halftime.
Yeah,
halftime.
when Notre Dame really got blown out.
Holy fuck! I watched that and I was like, "Oh, this is pain. Like, I'm uncomfortable watching this. I don't want to watch this anymore." So I just turned it off. Sarah was right next to me, and she was,
Getting ready to beat you.
She's like, "You better fucking turn that.
Yeah, you better
You
run.
better turn that off.
run.
You better go sleep with Uncle
run.
Tom tonight.
You want to have a good night? You want to have a good night? You fucking turn that off." Okay, Sarah, I'm really sorry. You better be fucking sorry.
Okay.
Sarah, why's your voice so deep? You better shut the fuck up.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this beautiful podcast on some feel good because the world is pretty fucked up right now.
Oh, I can give you 2 tickle bitties.
Oh, yeah. Give me, baby. I need
got
some
'em.
money. You lost me money the last 2 weeks in a row.
I didn't bet you give you anything
You
last
told me
week.
to do DePaul. You told me to do this. You told me
I
to do
did tell you
that.
to probably do DePaul somewhere.
You dumb son of a...
That was not my fault. DePaul should not won that game.
This is a crazy feel good story, but when Chris is ready.
They're trashed, DePaul.
All right. I'm going to use the wash.
I got it.
Go ahead. I'm going to use the wash real quick.
The first one is the Commanders are 6-2 against the spread as underdogs this season with 3 straight outright wins. I don't think you take the Commanders to win, but they're 6-point underdogs. You take them to cover that 6 points, Joe.
You think they're gonna do it?
I don't think they're going to win, but I think they'll cover the 6 points.
Sorry,
yeah.
they'll cover the 6 points.
Yeah, this is a division. Like, they play in the same division. They're going to know each other very well. I think 6 points is a high number for like 2 teams that play each other twice a year. So this would be the third time they're playing each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see the rationale there. That makes sense. The logic, sound.
Yep. And then the other one is, somehow Patrick Mahomes is 3-0 outright and against the spread in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills.
I've heard a lot of things. A lot of things talked about this Buffalo Bills and Kansas City game.
And the Chiefs are 2-point favorites. I think you take the Bills to outright win. I have the Bills as one of my Super Bowl teams, so I think you take the Bills.
Okay. So is it 4 teams left right now?
No, yeah, 4 teams, and it's only 2 games.
And it's only are both those games tomorrow or one Sunday, one Monday?
Yeah, no, both of them are tomorrow. So the first one is at 2:30, I believe it is, and then the last one starts right around like 5:36.
So we got the Bills versus Kansas City.
And yeah, so the first one is the Commanders versus the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one is the Bills versus Chiefs. So
Okay.
I told Joe that you take the Commanders to cover the 6-point spread because I don't think that Philadelphia is going to beat Washington by 6.
I heard that one. Yep.
And then the second one is Mahomes is 3-0 outright and against the spread against the Bills in the playoffs. And I think you choose the Bills to outright win that one. They're 2-point underdogs in that game.
Interesting.
Okay.
Who do you, if you don't mind me asking? So I got one answer. Who do you think is going to win between Washington and Philadelphia?
I think Philly does win that game
I think
somehow.
The thing is, you got to run against Washington, and you got to control. Don't let the ball go into their rookie quarterback. I could see Philly winning that. I think it's a closer game than they think. But also, Philly's defense with Jalen Carter in the middle, he's a fucking destructive
I think
force.
they're a little bit more healthy than what the Lions defense and offensive line were. So I think they'll have a little bit better time kind of controlling the pace of the game and kind of doing what they want.
And then the Bills Chiefs, I'd like to see the Bills, but I think the Chiefs are gonna.
I was about to ask, like, who do you think will win?
They just have that mojo to them. So
Andy Reid's a great coach. I love Andy Reid.
Based on you're thinking Chiefs versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
And you're thinking
I'm gonna go Bills Philly.
Bills. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna get you 2 feel good because we got to get out of here.
Yep.
It's a weird feel good. I just got to read this one. So this is so weird that they would put this on feel good. Pub owner adopts dog after it dashed into bar when the original owner died in a car crash. Now he's a local favorite. That's awesome and the dog's cute as shit.
That is a cute dog.
But how
it's so bad because like the owner died in a car crash, but it's so nice that he took the responsibility of instead of that dog going to like some shelter or something. And
70 is really the new 60. Aging adults function better today than previous generations in both body and mind.
Is that breaking news? I feel like that's like all of it. I'm being sarcastic when I say that because I I feel like every generation outlives the previous one with
But
medicine
I
and
mean,
exercise.
I think about my grandmother at 70. I'm like, God damn. Like, I just remember being young and looking at 70 and like
I feel
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I feel like you look at like nowadays, like Joe's saying, like I see like there was a couple, maybe about like a month and a half ago. I went to Jewel at like 8:30 after working at the property. Me and Pepsi were getting something for dinner, and there was like 3 or 4 people that had to be at least in their late 60s, early 70s shopping at 8:30.
Yeah,
I mean that back when we were like kids, that was unheard of. Like you would be at home, you'd probably be in bed already. Like people are out just like being about like and stuff like that. Like I mean,
there's also the health mindset that I think is really dominated the last 20 years.
Oh
of
yeah,
just stuff.
absolutely, yeah.
And that's really made a lot of people more aware.
Yeah, be more active.
And then finally, Thailand, the first Southeast Asian country to allow gay marriage.
Oh,
nice.
right.
I'm moving to Thailand. Awesome.
I'm going with you, Joe.
And on that beautiful note, hey, do us a favor, hit that like,
Couple of
subscribe,
Bangkok boys.
comment, share it. Listen, if you watch this podcast, just share it with somebody. Do us that favor, or and hit up Pat and tell him why Notre Dame is the best school in the world.
Tell him you miss him.
At the S&P podcast at gmail.com. As always, thank you for listening. We truly appreciate it. We don't care what political stance you are in. We're going to give you some bad thoughts on that anyway. So, but just thanks for joining us and enjoy yourself. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Can we start calling ourselves the Bangkok boys?